All right, so now we have created sort of a new version of our scenario. We have a scenario 2 in here. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually tell Revit that I only want scenario 2 to show up on this sheet at all times. And so I'm going to kind of double click outside. I'm activated in this view right now, but if I come out here, I'm going to come and I'm going to go to my main model, right? And if I do that, it's going to flip back, and that's okay. But what I want to do is for all of these views, I can actually tell Revit to show scenario 2, okay? So I'm going to come over, and you can do it in multiple ways, but if I double click on this view and I type VV, so V twice, there is a design option here, right? And so if I go to option 2 and click OK, now it's going to show option 2. I'll double click out of this one, double click on this one, and do V twice, Victor, Victor, go to design option and tell it to show design option 2 and click OK. It's now showing design option 2. I'll double click on this one and tell it to show design option 2 by VV and design option and design option 2. Click OK. And then I'll double click on this one and VV and tell it to show design option 2. All right. So now you'll notice that any tags that were associated with the things that are not in design option 2 went away, right? Like these guys are actually in the main model, right? So those all stayed, but anything that was associated with the new option 2, those tags went away, right? So, and if they were dimension 2, option 2, then those dimensions went away. And so anything that's new, right? Or if this is like a text tag, right? So if this is text and it's not associated to anything but itself, then it will stay. So I'll just delete that one. Then I could come in here and sort of, you know, adjust this, and get rid of these were actually lines that were left over from the previous one. So here's my metal track, and then let's go ahead and go to option 2 here. And there's my option 2. So there's the drywall, right? There's the plaster, and then there's the metal lath, right? And so that's what it's showing. So now what you can do is you can go in and tag all of these things with material tags just like you did before. So for example, if I wanted to come in here, I could go to my annotate tab and go to material tag and tag that. So the gypsum wallboard has a description in it, right? But the plaster does too, right? So there's the plaster, right? So, but you can always, you know, rename it. I like to be consistent anyway. Like it needs to all be all capital, you know, plaster finish, right? And then that will update the description, right, on the material itself. And then you can continue to go in and kind of, you know, adjust these guys. It's so annoying that it, pull that and then pull it back. There we go. And then you can go in and tag all these other things if you want to as well. And you would do the same thing for the wall, right? So if I came in here and I could pick this and just do create similar, right? And it's clicking on that wood slat and it just doesn't have anything entered in there yet. So you can just click on this question mark and say wood. You could say 6-inch wood slat, 6 inches wood slat. And maybe it's recycled or something like that. I don't know. But so you're just repeating yourself now. And then you would of course delete these and replace them, you know, with a new swatch. And then if I go to main model, right, it's still showing option 2. So now I have scenario 1 that's showing my first scenario, and then I have scenario 2 that's showing my second scenario. And it's all in the same model, right? So when I come back, I'll talk a little bit more and show you kind of maybe in different ways how the design options are working.